This lens I hold in my hand right now is the best proof that the Chinese lens manufacturers are no longer interested in only making the cheap lenses. The Meike 8mm f2.8 ultra-wide lens for the Micro Four Thirds system is the best proof of that. Because although it's fully manual, it's great image quality, great build quality, and it's not cheap. To be honest, it's even pretty expensive. But this lens also completely changed how I'm making my YouTube videos. Even the sheer size of the box in which the Meike 8mm f2.8 came suggests that this is a big and heavy lens. It might not be the longest lens ever, because let's just compare this to the Olympus 1240 Pro I have over here. But remember that this is only 8mm, while this is a pretty long zoom. What greatly differentiates this from this though is the weight. The Meike 8mm f2.8 weighs more than 450 grams. It's a chunky, full metal and full of glass lens. Also, take a look at the sheer size of the front lens on this thing and the size of the lens hood. The lens hood is gigantic. It has a thread for the 77mm filters, but it's not detachable. This thing, this bulge in the front, is permanently attached to the lens. And although, yes, you can screw some 77mm filters to this, most probably you will never really do it because of how the lens hood is structured. Even if you put the filter in front, the light will always be coming from the sides. So yeah, in theory it can accept filters, but the filters will be useless, especially the ND filters that might be used for the videography. When you want to use it for filming outside in the sun, you will have a problem because there will be not a good way on how to attach the ND filters in front of the lens. Although here inside, where is just not enough light to require ND filter, it's all great. Also, like I mentioned already, this is a fully manual lens and it's not reporting anything to the body. The camera will not know about the focal length or the currently used aperture. Everything is super manual and everything is done with 2 adjustment rings. This one, the smaller one, allows to set the aperture between f2.8 to f22, and the biggest focus ring, which by the way is fantastically narrowed, allows you to set, well, the focus distance. However, the focus ring most probably will not be something that you will be using very often, because as soon as you close the lens to f8, the lens is basically sharp from the minimum focal distance up to infinity. You see, I have this thing right now at the aperture f, and it should focus from the infinity down to 30 centimeters. And on f11 it's really like always sharp. And even when fully open, it still has huge depth of field. So bokeh? Nah, this lens does not really do bokeh, because in practical conditions, everything is always in focus. What's super cool about this lens is the precision of both the aperture and the focus ring. Both rings are wonderfully smooth and both rings have enough of the resistance to be sure that when you set the focus or the aperture, it will just stay there. Love it, love it, love it. In the meantime, do me a favor, hit the like button and write in the comments what is your favorite camera lens right now. Is it a prime? Is it a zoom? Is it a telephoto? Or it's just a ultra wide? Thanks, it means a lot and it helps to grow the channel. And when connected to the body like this Panasonic GH5, it makes a heavy and very stable camera. And when I say heavy, I do mean heavy, because the GH5 with the Meike 8mm and the small rig cage weighs now 1420 grams. It has a perk of being a stable platform, but also a huge problem that carrying this set around is really problematic. But the main question is, what about the image quality? Let me roll some of the pictures I took with the Meike 8mm f2.8 so you can decide by yourself. Especially take a look at the photo of the brick wall, which shows that the lens is just optically corrected. It's not a fisheye, and parallel lines are really almost parallel lines. In most of the cases there will be no need to adjust the geometry in the post-production at all. Like I mentioned before, the Meike 8mm f2.8 basically changed how I'm recording my YouTube videos. With the tight space I have over here, I'm no longer restricted to the close-ups. And this is very nice, especially for the micro four thirds format due to the crop. Just try to find an ultra-wide lens for the micro four thirds. Good luck! Fisheye? Okay, something that is optically corrected? Well, there is not really that much. And I do love both the build quality and the image quality of this thing. However, because it's rather big and heavy lens, it's not really suited for going outside. But here in the studio, attached to my Lumix camera, works just perfectly. When going outside to make some pictures, I just pick something else. But here for the video, when you are filming along and you just could use the extra wide angle and the extremely high field of depth, it's just fantastic. I absolutely do not regret buying this lens. Not like the Olympus 9 to 18mm I'm using to record this video. That lens, I hate it. Now, here's the next video you should watch. I'm Paweł Spychalski, thank you very much for watching, and like always, happy filming!